wanted to speak today on behalf of my mom and sisters and try to give you a glimpse of what it means to be a Dahler girl. Our father was a military man. He was also a Norwegian. So growing up with Daddy was a humbling experience. He was a man's man, emotionally stoic, with strong opinions, and he wasn't afraid to voice them. There's not a doubt in my military mind, or sometimes to cut off debate or end the discussion, I can't answer that. But he also had 4 daughters, and I think as much of an impact as his personality had on all of us, the fact that he was the father of 4 girls had a big impact on the man that our father would become. Our dad had a heart full of love. He was a generous and gracious man, and our home was always open to family, friends, and even strangers. As we girls were growing up, many of our friends became part of our family as Daddy's adopted daughters. And many of them are here today. And he enjoyed being Pa Dahler. I remember the first oncologist that Daddy went to see back in early April. After 45 minutes of talking to him, she wanted to be adopted into our family. He was just that kind of person. Now, the boys that we dated as teenagers, that was another story. Daddy was very protective of his girls. And any young man who might want to court one of us would have to prove himself to Daddy first. They may not have realized it, but they were going through an initiation of sorts. If they could handle the personal humiliation and the verbal sparring, they were in. Because of Daddy's military service, we traveled a lot. And since we spent a great part of his naval career in Glencoe, and all of our relatives lived in Montana, we took several cross-country trips. Traveling with Daddy, well, we can laugh about it now. But for 4 adolescent girls, I don't know who was more miserable, us or Daddy. He would only play country western music on the radio station, and we would beg to listen to just 15 minutes of our 1970s pop radio. And occasionally he would grudgingly oblige. And what you know, as soon as we gained control of the radio, Oliver's Good Morning Starshine would come on, and as soon as my dad heard Liddy Gloop Gloopy, Nibby Nobby Newbie, La 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 Lo Lo, we were back to fat sheets to lie on. As much as Daddy loved to travel, he wasn't a sightseer. His idea of travel was to beat the previous day's time. Lori tells a story of a Montana trip when Mom and Dad had stopped at the Sweetgrass Hills, and while she was reading the plaque commemorating the spot, Daddy took off before she could finish reading it. And Mom leaned over and said, "I took a picture of it if you want to read it later." Growing up, we always ate dinner together as a family. Daddy would come home from work, and Mom would have a 4-course meal ready and on the table. However, it was more like the Great Santini than the Beaver Cleaver household. Dinner time was not the time for fun and games, and a table full of 4 little girls often tried Daddy's patience. Sometimes to quiet our incessant conversation, Mom or Dad would initiate Brick House. And there was no more talking after you said that word. Or he would set the timer to encourage us to finish eating. In the days before microwaves, nothing was worse than hand-cold wax beans. Daddy loved cars. He enjoyed NASCAR and car races on TV, and would go to the Daytona 500 many years in a row. In the 60s, he owned a motorcycle, because being a 1-car family with 4 daughters just wasn't going to work. In the early 70s, he bought 5 raffle tickets, one for Mom and his 4 daughters, and won a shiny red Ford Maverick, 3-speed on the column. Well, I bought 5 tickets, but only one of them was any good, he said. And I remember him joking, well, I'm not a Ford man, but I guess I'll take it. When Daddy broke his neck a few years back, we thought we might be able to get him to give up the car keys. I actually bought him a walker, and I took it over to his house. What am I supposed to do with this thing? He said. A week later, he went out, bought a 2012 Dodge Charger with a Hemi, and it was like, this is what you could do with your walker. As Rachel mentioned, my dad enjoyed giving us kids nicknames. He called me Big Girl. Lori was always soft. Julie started out as Goofy Noofy because she was born in Newfoundland. But after her bout with cancer, he always called her his pretty lady. Jeanette's nickname is in dispute. She had been Nettie until she told Daddy that Nettie was not unique enough and thought that he should call her the Fave. And we all knew that was bogus because Daddy didn't have any favorites. But he called her that to get a laugh out of teasing the rest of us. All of the grandchildren had a nickname. Angela's Princess, little Jeanette eventually became Shorty, Rachel Dazzler, Sarah's Queen, Tyler's Tractor Man, Jennifer Smiley, and Kylie's Softy number 2. Jace loves Grandpa's nickname for him. He was always Ziggy. Macy's Curly Girl, and Brady recently was crowned Tiger. And I'm sure that he would have come up with something very special for the baby boy that Jennifer and Daniel will have this fall. Our dad had a great sense of humor. I remember watching his favorite TV shows with him, Red Skelton, Rowan and Martin's Laughing, Hee-Haw, and of course, All in the Family. When Daddy started laughing, everyone laughed with him because his laughter was so infectious. He had a hearty laugh that was so intense, it sounded like he was going to break something. He laughed like he lived. He enjoyed playing cards. Actually, he enjoyed winning at cards. And many times after a rousing victory would say, "Deal the cards, cry the losers," while the winners sang songs. I would like to put to rest the question that has been asked often of me and my sisters. Did your dad ever play Santa Claus? Well, the answer to that would be no. He may have had the beard and the belly for it, but I could just imagine some little boy asking Daddy, "Can I have a pony for Christmas?" And Daddy would say, "I can't answer that." Hand him an Altoid and send him on his way. The greatest testament to the love our dad had for his wife and daughters is the 63 years of married life that Mama and Daddy shared. What an inspiration and a gift to give to his family, to be able to get through the hard times and grow old together. Daddy loved Mom more than anything and made sure he said so every day. Know what? Love you. At 6 o'clock every evening, Daddy would call each of us girls. The calls never lasted long, just enough to say, "I love you. You gotta call the other girls." After being diagnosed with cancer, he continued to thank God for his family and his friends, and considered himself a blessed man to have had such a long and happy life. You know what, Tabby? Love you.